Hi, how you doing? Justin here. Today we're going to be talking about learning to read guitar tab, which is probably the most effective way of writing music for guitar. The problem with standard traditional dots that you'd find like regular music notation is that one particular note can be played in lots of different ways. The top space on a music stave, which is the note E, is played here, open, also played at the 5th fret on the 2nd string, the 9th fret of the 3rd string, the 14th fret of the 4th string, the 17th fret of the 5th string, and the 24th fret, which doesn't exist on this guitar, on the thicker string. Now, tab tells you which one of those that you would play, whereas traditional notation only tells you to play a note E, and it's up to you to decide which one of those E notes you wanted to play. Now, that can be more effective for professional guitar players or if you get into jazz, but for beginners, you definitely want to be looking at guitar tab. It's very, very simple. There are 6 lines. The top line is the thinner string and the bottom line is the thicker string. Okay, so it's just going thin, gradually going down to the thickest string. The numbers tell you the fret where you have to put a finger. It doesn't tell you which finger to put there though. That's important. It doesn't tell you which finger, it just tells you what fret a finger should go in. You have to use a little bit of your logic and knowledge to decide which finger is the right finger to put in that particular fret. Now, one disadvantage with tablature is that it doesn't contain any rhythmic information. So there's a couple of options there. One, listen to what it is that you're doing a lot on the original recording or to the demonstration of the stuff. And that's oftentimes for beginners the best way to do it. You don't have to learn a new system for rhythm. You can just use your ears, which is in fact the best way to learn music, is by listening. In the tablature that you'll get from me, most of the time I'll have traditional notation at the top which contains the rhythm and the tablature underneath which tells you which of those notes or where to play each one of those different notes. I sometimes use a system where I have the rhythm written above the tablature, so it's just a bare rhythm stems above the tablature. That will of course teach you how to learn the rhythm if you know how to learn the rhythm. But like I said, that's a whole nother thing that you're going to have to learn. Whereas if you just use your ears and the tablature, it tells you where to put your fingers, you listen to the original recording or to the example, and you know the rhythm that you should play it with. You will find that there are lots of other symbols that get used in guitar tab and in traditional notation to notate things like string bends, glissing, finger tapping, but I'd recommend that you learn those things as you encounter them on your guitar journey and not try and learn them all at once. There really is no need for a beginner guitar player to learn how finger tapping is written down in a tab. It's just the kind of thing that you want to learn as you go on the guitar. So the essential things you need to know about guitar tablature. First of all, which is the thinner string and which is the thicker string? It's often a little bit of muddle for people at the beginning. The thin string is at the top. It's the treble string. So the treble, the thin string, and the top, they're all T words, okay? That's the easiest way to remember it. The bass string or the bottom string or the big string is at the bottom. So the T's are at the top and the B's are at the bottom. It's also, of course, really important that you remember that the numbers written on the lines tell you what fret to put a finger. It doesn't tell you which finger, it tells you where to put a finger. You will only play the notes where there is something written in the tab. Okay, so if there's just one note written, you're going to play just that one note. If you want to play an open strings, for example, in a chord, you'll see zeros on the lines, and that means that you're going to play a string with no finger on it. When you see a chord, it'll be all written in one line, all on top of each other. Okay, very often there you'll see the open strings ringing out, particularly for open chords. And if there is just the one note, you're going to play that one note individually and no other strings at all. So there are some more examples of tablature in the lesson below, so do check that out. It's the kind of thing where you need to be looking at some tab really to make sense of all of this, and I don't really think the video is going to be as helpful as checking out the tab below. So go and have a look at that. See you for more very soon. Bye bye.